Hey there, I'm Amy from thecrazycraftlady.com and I'm here to share my first spring/Easter craft of the year, and I'm so excited because this tutorial combines my current favorite craft trend, which is reverse canvas crafts. I buy my little canvases at the dollar store, but you can get them at the craft store as well. So we're going to make a couple of reverse canvases using my current favorite craft supply, and it is also a dollar store supply, and these are the little carrots from the dollar store. They are little foam carrots wrapped in orange twine with little green grass toppers, and they're super cute. They come in packs of 4. You can also order them on the Dollar Tree website, but you have to buy them in bulk. So if you're going to make a lot of crafts, I would suggest ordering them online so you don't completely wipe out your Dollar Tree store. Otherwise, try to find them in store. They come out pretty early in the season, so I would shop early. But we are going to make reverse canvases with a spring carrot theme, and I have been really obsessed with the reverse canvas trend lately. I made fall reverse canvases with dollar store supplies. I made some winter evergreen Christmas tree reverse canvases, and now we're going to make some for spring. I'm so excited to share this tutorial with you. Let's get making. All right, so here we've got my first canvas, and this is not a new process. I do this on all my reverse canvases, so I'm just going to trim away the canvas from the wooden frame using my little fingertip blade. I've used pen blades before, use a razor blade, but please, whatever you do, friends, just be careful. Make sure you have a sharp blade so you don't have to use too much pressure. And don't cut yourself. Now we have my little wooden frame and my canvas, and it's time to stain. I am once again using this oak gel stain from Americana. I really like it. I use it on a lot of my projects, and instead of using regular wood stain, I like this because it has less of an odor, or no odor, I should say. Sorry, I'm looking for a grubby brush here. And that way I don't have to open a window when it's cold outside, or I don't have to go outside when the weather is not nice. So this is just a grubby brush. Don't use like a good one. Use an old beat up one, or one that your kids have destroyed, or this one is just about falling apart. So it's perfect. And I'm just going to give this a quick coat back and forth. Nothing too perfect. You just want to get, I just want a darker wood tone. You could totally leave this unstained, just the unfinished wood, or you could paint it, but for this I'm just doing an oak stain. And then just to speed the drying process along, wipe away any excess with a paper towel. So you don't have to do the back. The back is going to be unfinished. Just the front edge and the inside edge and the outside edge. And then this will dry up real fast if you just set this aside. I'm going to go wash my hands, and I'll be back for the next step. All right, now the next thing you have to decide is what side of the canvas you're going to use. Do you want to use the white kind of finished side or the more unbleached side? It's really hard to tell the difference on this video, but this is more of a cream with little brown specks, and this is like a solid white. I'm going to use, I think, this unfinished side, and I'm just going to give this a rough trim just inside this inside crease here. This can always be trimmed down after the fact, trimmed down to size, but you just want it to fit right inside that frame. And then for my Cricut crafters, we're going to use some heat transfer vinyl. For my non-Cricut crafters, you have the option of wooden craft letters. You can do paint. We're just going to add little letters, and this isn't going to make a huge difference in the project. But hop into Cricut Design Space. So I like finding design inspiration in Cricut Design Space. And you don't always have to use the complete graphic. So for this, I found a carrot patch graphic that I really liked, but I just wanted the letters, and I was too lazy to actually find the font. Normally you can use the contour function. So you click your image and then you click contour, and you can select which pieces you want to eliminate or include. This, I don't know if it was my internet connection that day, was being super glitchy, and as I kept scrolling up and down, things that I had selected or deselected suddenly were the opposite. So I kind of gave up on that, and I went with plan B, and that's using the slice feature. So for this, you just add a square or a rectangle to cover any part you want to basically erase or crop out. Then you highlight both that solid color square and the graphic, and you click slice. And as that processes, it slices the underlying pattern into that rectangle, and then you could just completely delete everything and then repeat that process around the design 3 more times. You just have what's left is that script carrot patch writing. And then you can go ahead and make it and reverse, make sure you mirror your image before cutting it out. And then I used heat transfer vinyl. I use heat transfer vinyl on all my reverse canvas projects. And then once you've got your design weeded, I'm struggling with these last 2 little bits here. Okay. So you got your design weeded, you can kind of place it where you want it on that canvas. So I want it to be up kind of high so then I can put my carrots down below. So I'm just going to kind of set that in place here and then grab my easy press or use an iron. So I'm just going to remove the frame and slide my heat pad underneath. And I'm going to leave this in place where I had it because I know it's centered. And then go ahead and just follow the directions on whatever heat transfer vinyl you use. On these types of projects, I don't really feel strong brand loyalty because this is not a t-shirt that's gonna get washed and run through the dryer or anything. It just has to stick to this canvas, so it's not gonna take the wear and tear of a pillow or a t-shirt or a tote bag or anything like that. So I usually just go with whatever is on sale on Amazon. I'll find like the longest bulk roll. I buy black and white heat transfer vinyl in bulk. And you just, you have to do a little math, so to divide and calculate, price per linear foot, but it's not too big of a deal. And then this should just peel right off. Oh, perfect. Okay. Then it's time to reattach canvas to frame. And this is the part where you have to work really quickly because you have to center this on here before the hot glue dries. And I will admit that I have on more than one occasion just like completely ripped this apart and tried again if I don't nail it the first time. Okay, hot glue, nice and hot. Press down and flip over. Oh yeah. Okay, it was not my most perfect attempt, but I think I'm gonna commit to it. Now you can always reinforce this with like metal tacks, which I might do in the end anyway. But the thing that I'm most happy with is that this is centered on my first attempt. Now, because I'm gonna be adding these little 3D elements, Normally I would wait till the end to flip this over and take my razor blade and trim away any excess that might hang over the edge. I'm gonna do that now because once I add my little carrots, I'm not gonna be able to flip this over as easily. Looking good. And now it's time to fill in my carrot patch with extra carrots. So we've got our Dollar Tree carrots, and they're obviously way too tall for this frame, but what we're gonna do is I'm gonna stagger them in height. And I didn't test this beforehand, so you guys are gonna see live and make sure I don't see if my hypothesis is correct, that I'm able to just cut through these with my heavy duty crafting shears. I love these for cutting cardboard and all sorts of stuff. Oh yeah. These are styrofoam. They cut super slick. So all I'm gonna do is cut these down to different staggered heights. And don't worry if there's any like foam showing at the bottom. I'm gonna try to cover that up with, you can steal some extra twine or some grass here. So now I'm gonna just speed this up because I'm just gonna hot glue everything in place, and then I'm gonna kind of use my judgment to fill in and try to cover up anything along the bottom that has foam showing. All right, so for this one, I saved you having to watch me, you know, disassemble the canvas and stain it and then reassemble it. But on this one, I am going to add thumbtacks on the back because one, I was a little wonky off kilter here. And with the added weight that's gonna be on this canvas, because we're adding like wooden craft sticks, I thought it would just be smart to reinforce the back here just a little bit. And normally this wood is soft enough that you can just slide these thumbtacks right in. All right, so now, like I said, we're gonna be adding quite a bit of weight to this. It's because we're gonna use craft sticks to make a shiplap look. Now, I was really hoping that these craft sticks were gonna be long enough that I could just trim them down to size. If you have wood shims, that would be a great option, and then you wouldn't have to cut them down. You could just lay them flat. But we're gonna make this work with what we got. So once again, heavy duty craft scissors are gonna be your friend here because this wood, I mean, it's soft enough, but it's not ideal. So I'm going to cut and fill this whole frame with wooden craft sticks, and then I'm gonna go back and paint them. But I wanna get an idea for what length they need to be. Here, so that works out right. And then I can like use the remainder of this guy here. And this does not have to be perfect. The nice thing about having this canvas behind it is that there's like something to show through between the gaps between these wooden craft sticks. So I'm going to speed this up really quick, and then we're going to move on, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to paint these and then reattach them. Okay, so now I need to transfer all of these craft sticks over, keeping them in the same order. So this is a very similar method to what I did, rotate this. What I did on another Dollar Tree craft, oh gosh, 2-3 years ago, I took a baking sheet, cooking sheet from the dollar store, and I added cut up craft sticks and made it into a serving tray. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to paint and then hot glue these right back on. So this is plain white, no nonsense chalk paint in, like, it's like just Rust-Oleum white chalk paint. Nothing fancy. You could just like use plain acrylic white craft paint, deco art, apple barrel, whatever. And I'm not even gonna like try to paint these perfectly. One, I don't want to have to wait for them to dry that long. And yes, this is going to get messy. I just have accepted the fact that I'm going to have paint all over my fingers, but you know, that's life. So just paint all of these. I'm going to speed this up for you and then hot glue them in place. And that is going to be the shiplap backing to this little reverse canvas sign. All right, so now we have our little shiplap sign, and then we're gonna decorate it again with carrots. We're just gonna use 3 carrots here and hot glue them right in place. So it's gonna look like a bunch, like a little bundle of 3 carrots, but there's no good way to tie them together without them being all tripod-like. So just hot glue in place. There we go. And then I'm just going to embellish it with a little black and white check bow, because it wouldn't be a dollar store craft if I didn't use black and white buffalo check, all right? And I have this farmhouse ribbon. It's from the Dollar Tree. I like it. I don't love it. I like that it's buffalo check. I do not love that it's kind of made out of a slippery material. So I'm going to kind of do a cheater method when I make my bow here, and I'm gonna hot glue myself a figure 8 that will then stay perfectly in place for me, because it's too slippery. It's too slippery of a material. And then you just cut another short length to make it look like you tied the perfect bow, when indeed you cheated. So I'm going to kind of scrunch this middle part up a little bit. There we go. And then secure it in the center with just a simple, I'm going to do a double knot, I think, because like I said, this ribbon is slippery. And even, there we go. Even using my cheater method, it's not perfect. It looks pretty good. Okay, so double knot it in the back, and then just trim off those 2 tail ends in the back so they don't poke out. And then always remember to not trim these 2 long tail ends till you get that ribbon the bow really in place where you want it to be. Because if you mess that step up, there's no going back. You gotta like start all over. But I'm just gonna take this part here, hot glue it to the top of my middle carrot, and press it carefully in place so I don't burn myself. There you go. Ooh, and you know what? Had I like trimmed this before, I would have probably cut these tail ends a lot longer or a lot shorter, and I kind of like them long. So I'm gonna do this one like that length, and this one a little bit longer. So not perfectly symmetrical. I kind of like that. So there we have a little sign to go with my other reverse canvas project. So 2 little dollar store carrot reverse canvas projects just in time for spring and Easter decorating. I do hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Until next time, happy making.